The first time the millionaire laughed, it echoed like thunder across the marble lobby, sharp and careless, the sound of a man who had forgotten what desperation felt like. He was dying slowly, painfully, despite all his money, despite the doctors flown in from 3 continents, despite the machines that hummed day and night to keep him alive. When the frail boy stepped forward, barefoot and trembling, and said he could heal him, the laugh came easily. "Heal me for $1 million, the millionaire thought, amused by the absurdity of hope wearing torn clothes. What he did not know was that in that very moment, his life was already changing. Before this story pulls you deeper, take a second and listen to your heart. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that light can come from the most unexpected places, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach the people who need them most. The boy had come from the far edge of the city, a place the rich only saw through tinted windows as they sped past. His neighborhood was stitched together by cracked pavement, flickering streetlights, and the constant hum of survival. He was young, barely old enough to understand how cruel the world could be, yet already old enough to feel its weight pressing down on his chest. His mother had passed when he was small, her absence a quiet ache that never healed, and his father worked himself into the ground for wages that barely bought food. The boy learned early that life did not offer fairness, only choices about how to respond to pain. Somewhere between hunger and hope, he discovered something strange within himself, something he did not fully understand but trusted with an unshakable faith. The millionaire's world was the opposite extreme, a universe of glass towers, private elevators, and silence that money creates around suffering. He had built his empire through ruthless precision, believing control was the ultimate currency. Yet control abandoned him when his body began to fail. The illness crept in like a shadow, stealing strength from his limbs and breath from his lungs. Each day became a reminder that wealth could buy comfort but not certainty. Doctors spoke in careful tones, offering treatments that extended time but not life. His family visited out of obligation, their eyes already measuring inheritances. Alone at night, surrounded by machines, he felt poorer than the boy who stood before him now. The boy had not come seeking money, though the idea of $1 million sounded like a dream too large to hold. He came because someone told him the man was sick, and sickness pulled at him like gravity. He had felt it before, the way pain called out without sound, the way broken bodies whispered for relief. He did not know why he could feel these things, only that ignoring them made his chest ache as badly as hunger once did. So he walked for hours, past guards who nearly turned him away, until curiosity or fate allowed him inside. The laughter hurt, not because it was cruel, but because it carried disbelief. Still, the boy did not shrink. He stood there, small against towering columns, carrying nothing but certainty. The millionaire waved him closer, more entertained than hopeful, ready to indulge the fantasy for a moment. What harm could there be in letting a child pretend, he reasoned, when everything else had already failed? The room was cold and bright, filled with the quiet authority of wealth and science. The boy felt overwhelmed at first, the weight of expectation pressing down, the machines humming like anxious insects. Yet beneath it all, he felt the sickness clearly, like a knot twisted tight inside the man's body. He closed his eyes, not in prayer as others might expect, but in focus. He breathed the way his grandmother once taught him, slow and deep, as if the air itself could carry intention. Time seemed to stretch. The boy reached out, placing his hands gently where the pain felt loudest. He did not speak. There were no dramatic gestures, no declarations, just stillness, and a quiet certainty flowing through him like a river that had always known its path. The millionaire felt something shift, subtle at first, like warmth spreading through cold fingers. He almost dismissed it as imagination, another cruel trick of a dying body desperate for relief. But the warmth grew. The pain that had been a constant companion for months loosened its grip. Breathing became easier. The crushing weight in his chest softened, then faded. His eyes widened, not with fear, but with something dangerously close to hope. Monitors began to change, their steady beeping adjusting to a rhythm no one expected. Nurses froze. Doctors stared, confused by numbers that suddenly made no sense. The boy stepped back, exhausted, his knees weak. Whatever force moved through him had passed, leaving behind a silence that felt sacred. The millionaire sat up slowly, testing a body that no longer felt like a prison. He moved his hands, his legs, his chest rising without struggle. The laughter that came this time was different, broken by tears he had not shed in decades. News spread quickly, faster than reason. Doctors ran tests again and again, searching for explanations that fit their understanding. They found none. The illness that had defied every treatment was gone, not managed, not reduced, but absent. The boy sat quietly in the corner, invisible once more, watching disbelief turn into awe. The millionaire looked at him with new eyes, seeing not poverty or skin or size, but the weight of what had just happened. His world, built on contracts and control, cracked open. In that fracture, something human poured through. He realized how easily he had dismissed miracles simply because they did not arrive wearing suits or speaking his language. True to his word, he arranged the money, though it suddenly felt insignificant compared to the gift he had received. The boy did not smile the way people expected. He accepted it calmly, already thinking of what it could change beyond himself. Schools rebuilt, clinics funded, meals served in places where hunger was routine. The wealth flowed outward, no longer trapped behind gates. The millionaire changed too, though more slowly. Health gave him time, and time gave him reflection. He began visiting the places he once ignored, seeing the cost of indifference written on human faces. He funded programs not for recognition but repair, listening more than speaking, learning what it meant to be present. For the first time, his life felt larger than his balance sheets. The boy returned home, still poor by some standards, but carrying a sense of purpose that no money could buy. He continued helping where he could, quietly, without spectacle. Not every story ended in miracles, but every act mattered. He learned that healing was not always about curing bodies. Sometimes it was about restoring dignity, reminding people they were seen. Years passed, and the story became legend, distorted by retellings, debated by skeptics. Yet those who were there remembered the truth not as magic, but as connection. A reminder that the world still bends toward compassion when someone dares to believe. If this story touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you that hope can come from the most unexpected places, please take a moment to like the video, share it, and stay connected to this channel. Your engagement keeps these stories alive and reaching hearts that need them. And before this video ends, leave a comment below telling us one moment in your life when kindness changed everything. Because sometimes, healing begins the moment we stop laughing at miracles and start listening to them.